Good morning, my disciples.
Oh my god,
So,
bro.
so you may notice that the scene has shifted around slightly and that the camera quality has improved. And the reason for this is because I have a new phone. Yep, I have the new Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra. So yeah, quite a bit of an upgrade from whatever weird camera that I don't even know that I had before. And I've also got it positioned this way because I think the natural lighting from the window makes this angle a little bit better. And also, I'm not sure if this is actually working, but right now I've got these headphones like right next to me because supposedly they have a microphone in it, and so it might make the audio sound a bit better, but I don't know, I can't actually tell. Let me know if you have to do something like special to get it to like work. These are the JBL 710 BTs. So anyway, you've read the title. So what I'm going to be doing in this video is I'm going to be condensing all the advice that I've given in all the past videos I've made on the subject of pill swallowing and condense it down into one full complete guide on how to get over the fear of swallowing pills. And you can trust this advice because this is the advice that helped me personally get over this fear, which I've had for a long time, and it's severely negatively impacted my mental health, physical health, everything. So yeah, it is really an important skill to learn and you can't overlook it. And so yeah, I'm going to be going over how you can get over that fear in this video. So let's get straight into it. The first thing that I'd say is that you're never too old to start practicing. So I don't care if you're like 25 or something and you don't know how to swallow pills, you're never too old to learn. Start early, start now. Don't be the guy that's gonna be like, I'll just start at the start of next month, yeah. Or I'll just start, since it's already December, I'll just start in like New Year. That would be like my New Year's resolution. Maybe I'll just start when the third quarter of the waning blue moon in the east hits the horizon at exactly 35 degrees. That would be the perfect time. Shut the fuck up. Just start right now. Stop procrastinating and actually prioritize your health, because this is your health that we're talking about here. It's not something trivial that can actually wait for later. This is of utmost importance. Now, linking to this previous bit of advice is don't wait until you're ill to learn it. So this is the problem that I had. So I kind of just couldn't be asked to swallow pills because every time I would, it wouldn't be a nice experience, and so I just stopped doing it. But then the situation arose where it was literally a life or death situation where I had to learn how to swallow pills because we were going to Kenya for holiday and you need to take these anti-malarial tablets so that you don't get malaria. But if you can't swallow them, then you ain't gonna get protected from malaria, bro. So it was literally a life or death situation, and yeah, that put a lot of pressure on me. And so I'm telling you now, in retrospect, do not get into that situation. You want to avoid that situation where there's a lot of pressure on you, and just start right now when you're in a more relaxed environment, because you don't want any negative emotions to be associated with pill swallowing. You want it to be a positive experience. So yeah, that's the advice I give. Okay, now the next question you're probably asking is, okay, so how do I actually do this? So firstly, you have to choose your pill correctly. So what I would do is I would get some small vitamin tablets and begin with those, because those actually have like a benefit to you when you swallow it. So it's not like a dummy tablet where you're literally getting nothing out of it. You're actually getting a little something. And you may think, nah, just get the dummy tablet because you can basically get infinite practice that way, because you don't have to worry about like overdosing or anything. But I think that pill swallowing should be a short part of your day. You shouldn't spend too long on it. Yeah, I think getting something like this would be quite valuable. This is like Holland and Barrett vitamin D. These pills are relatively small. I'll show you there. So if you can get your hands on something like this, that would be great, or even something smaller, that would be even better. Now here I have some even smaller pills. So when you're trying to choose your pill, I need you to take some responsibility for yourself and actually go out and look online and find the correct pills for you. So when you're looking for pills, try and find the smallest pills to start off with. So those pills that I just showed you, they were pretty small, right? Let me show you some other pills that I have and compare them to those Holland and Barrett pills that I just showed you. So if you thought these were small, have a look at this. This is even smaller than those ones. And so if you can get some really small pills, then that would be the best place to start, because what you want to do is you want to start by building up success. You want to associate pill swallowing with positive emotions, and the best way you can do that is starting off small. Just put your ego aside for a minute and just try and get some small, easy, quick wins. And the best way you can stack those up is by getting some really small tablets like this, some vitamins, and practicing with them. Additionally, when choosing your tablet, you want to make sure that it is not sticky. So what I mean by this is, so recently I had an experience where I actually had some trouble with swallowing pills. And the reason why was not because of the size of the pill, but actually because it was sticky. And so what would happen was, when I was trying to swallow it, it would go to the top of my mouth, and while swallowing, it would actually stick to the top of my mouth. And so it would kind of like drag along the top of my mouth just as I was swallowing it, and it was not a very pleasant experience. And that's why I had some trouble with that. And so when you're picking your tablet, you want to make sure that it's not sticky. And so a good rule of thumb is that capsules are usually the ones that would be sticky if any tablets are. I'll throw an image of what they look like on screen. So if possible, avoid choosing a capsule for your tablet to practice with, and just choose like the regular small round tablet that I've shown earlier. For the next tip, if you want to actually make some progress, you need to make pill swallowing a daily habit. And so the best way that I can recommend doing this is set an alarm on your phone and time it so that it is just after a meal. So as soon as you finish eating, that alarm should go off and tell you, oh yeah, swallow your tablet. As soon as you finish eating, that alarm should go off and tell you, oh yeah, swallow your tablet. Wait, I forgot to talk about the, oh shit. The reason why I say set an alarm is because it's like an actual physical thing that you can't really ignore, unlike just like a general goal of like, oh yeah, swallow tablets, you gotta do that at some point. Because that's like, it's very wishy-washy and you can just ignore that. But if you have like an actual alarm reminding you, it's something that you can't ignore. And so it will be easier for that to become a habit than if you just had like a general goal like, oh yeah, swallow tablets. Okay, back to the video. You want to make this tablet like really accessible. So when you finish eating, maybe you like put your plate in the sink, have your tablets positioned like right next to the sink, and have like a cup of water like ready. And so that way it'll be like, oh, all the stuff's like right here, might as well just give it a go. Like the alarm's telling me to do it, let's just do it. So that's what you want to do. And that way you're actually going to be able to get practice every day. And so that is extremely valuable in making progress. Now, what's also important about when you set this alarm is that you don't want to have any time pressure. So I'll explain this with an example. So what I wouldn't do is set an alarm to swallow a pill right after breakfast, because right after breakfast I have to catch a bus to school, and if I have that pressure in the back of my mind, it'll kind of just throw me off and I won't be as relaxed, and if I do fail, then the day will kind of get ruined. I also wouldn't set it just before I sleep, because I'll be like, oh shoot, I gotta go sleep. And what's happened a few times is I've thought like, oh, I gotta go sleep, and then I'm like, oh no, it's so late already, let me just skip this pill swallowing, just go to sleep. And so you don't want it to be just before you sleep either. So the best time I find, at least for me, is when I come home from school. That's the best time, I think, somewhere in the evening. Now, another thing with this time pressure is you don't want this pressure kind of to build up over the day. So perhaps you'd want to swallow the pill as soon as you wake up, because you don't want that pressure of like, oh shoot, I gotta swallow the pill, just like looming over you through the entire day. If you can just get it over with at the start of the day, then your entire day is free from that. So that could also work if you do it like right at the start of the day or this evening time. Either would work. I don't think that's too important, but it's just something to bear in mind, some advice that I'd give. The next tip that I'd give is that you want to make it a quick process. So by this I mean that if the pill doesn't go down within the first 3 attempts, bin it. Now you might be thinking, nah man, I don't want to give up. That just goes against like everything that I've been taught. Nah, trust me, if it doesn't go down within the first 3 attempts, just leave it. Or if it starts dissolving in your mouth or like leaving a bad taste, just leave it at that point, because that feeling of failure is a negative emotion, and if you have that negative emotion while swallowing pills, your brain will associate those two things together, and that is the opposite of what you want to do. You want pill swallowing to be a purely positive experience, and you don't want it to be like a pain. I guess I'd even say that I want to limit you to 1 cup of water only. If it doesn't go down and you've used a cup of water, that's it. Leave it at that point, bro. Because pills shouldn't be taking more than a cup of water to swallow. And the problem of not having a limit on how much water you swallow is that you end up drinking too much water. And what's happened to me is that just before I've slept, I've tried to swallow pills, I've drank a shit ton of water, and then in the middle of the night I've had to go piss like 2 or 3 times. And it's just that one small part of my day, pill swallowing, has like bled into the other parts, and it's just, you don't want that. You want it to just remain one small bit of your day, and that's it, it's done. My next point links in with this, and it's having a good environment. And I mean this more in the sense of the people around you. So you want to make sure that the people around you are supportive of you trying to get over your fear. And it's just demotivating if you have someone just right behind you every time you fail to swallow a pill, just saying, you're a pussy, bro. Like, that's not helping, man. Shut the fuck up, please. And if I have that every time I try and swallow a pill, it's just so demotivating, and it will just put me off, and I won't try, and then I'll get over the fear then, because if I don't even practice, then how am I going to do it? So the way to make sure that the people around you are supportive is by explain to them that you're actually trying to take responsibility for your health. Explain to them what you've done so far. If you followed the previous steps so far, then tell them what you've done. Tell them that you've gone online by yourself looking for these pills to swallow. You've looked for the smallest pills that are vitamins, that are not sticky. You've even watched this video. Just watching this video in itself is you taking responsibility for your own health. Let them know that you're actually trying to change things. And if you do that, I guarantee they will be more supportive of you. And if they're not, then I think you need to cut them out of your life. They're not doing good for you. Alright, now I'm gonna go over the actual technique of getting the pill down. So firstly, what you want to do is open your mouth like really wide and stick your tongue out, and then grab your tablet and try and place it as far back on your tongue as possible. This is the main piece of advice that I was missing for a long time, and my dad was kind of telling me it, but I didn't really listen to it, and I didn't really understand what he was saying. But if you place it as far back in your mouth as possible, it will make this whole process a lot easier, because at that point the pill is pretty much like down your throat. It's just one swallow away. So that's probably the most important advice of this entire video that I'd give. Anyway, continuing on with the process, where you position this pill is important. You don't want it to be kind of like on the left or on the right. You want it to be like centered and at the back of your mouth. And you also don't want it to be touching the roof of your mouth. That's a problem that I've had in the past, where the pill would just get stuck to the roof of my mouth and I wouldn't be able to get it down. And so once you've placed it on your tongue, then you need to retract your tongue into your mouth. And you need to be kind of careful with this, because you don't want the pill to get stuck on the roof of your mouth while you're retracting it back. So you kind of gotta maintain the same tongue posture and then retract it into your mouth. Now once you've done that, you're pretty much there. So if you swallow right now, it will go down. But make sure you do use water. Most pills, it is recommended to swallow them with water, so make sure you do swallow with water. The advice I'd give with how much water and things, just get like a glass of water like this, and just take a small sip of that. And while that water's going into your mouth, I want you to swallow at the same time. Now, if you don't do that, that will cause a lot of problems, and what will happen is the pill will kind of be like floating around in your mouth, and that's when your brain starts to toy with you, and it's really not a pleasant experience, because what happens is your brain is just in this limbo state of like, oh, should I swallow or should I not? And all while that's happening, the pill is dissolving in your mouth, leaving like a bad color in your tongue, leaving a bad taste in your mouth, making your breath stink, and you just feel like a failure. And so that is a situation that you guys need to avoid at all costs. So as soon as the water goes into your mouth from the cup, swallow at the same time. If it doesn't go in, okay, rinse and repeat, come on. You swallow that water off and then replace it back on your mouth, and just do that until you've either done 3 attempts, it starts dissolving, starts to leave a bad taste, or your cup of water's finished. And so that's it. That's all the advice that I'd give, condensed into one video on how to swallow pills. Now from here, all that's left for you to do is just continue this daily practice. Don't get complacent, because there is still a long way to go, because this advice will only help you get past the initial fear of swallowing pills. But even though I hate to say it, I still do have a fear of swallowing pills, because if I was in that situation where the pill was just floating in my mouth, I don't know if I'd be able to get it down. I can only get it down in the situation where it's quick, but when I have to like battle my brain, I don't know if I can do it. And so to continue progressing, what you have to do is work on the 5 factors of progressive overload in terms of pill swallowing. So I covered these 5 factors in the previous video, but they are: how forward the pill is on your tongue. So the further back it is, the easier it is, but the more forward you put it along your tongue, the harder it gets. The other factors are the pill size. Obviously, a bigger pill is more difficult. The number of pills is also another factor. And then another one is the presence, or I guess absence, of water. And lastly, the speed of how quickly you get it down. You want that speed to be as quick as possible. That's all I have to say. So hopefully you've gained something positive out of this video. And I know that if my younger self had seen this video 3 years ago, it certainly would have helped me a lot. And so I hope that this video helps you too. So yeah, take action. Like right now. Alright, see you on the other side.